Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to take a journey, an incredible one, and not to some faraway place, but right inside our own bodies. We're going to uncover the amazing mechanics behind something we do all day, every day, without even thinking about it, talking.
Have you ever really stopped to think about it? Where do the sounds of speech even come from? It seems like such a simple question, right? But the answer, well, the answer is going to take us into this super fascinating world right inside of us. How do we go from just a thought in our head to an actual sound that someone else can hear and understand? Let's find out.
Okay, so let's get right into it. The whole thing, this whole tour we're on, it really boils down to this simple three-step process. Seriously, this is like the basic roadmap for every single sound you make, whether you're whispering or shouting.
All right, first step on our journey, the power source. And it all begins right here, in your chest. You can think of this as the engine room. It's where all the raw energy for speech gets created. And, without this first step, literally nothing else can happen.
So what's happening? It all kicks off with a simple, controlled push of air. Your chest muscles give a little squeeze, they push air out of your lungs and send it straight up through your windpipe, your trachea. And that column of moving air, that's the fuel. It's the energy source that's going to power this whole operation.
Okay, from the engine room, let's head up to our next stop, the voice box. This is where things get really interesting. We're moving up into the throat to this amazing piece of biological hardware called the larynx. This is where that plain old stream of air starts to get some character, some buzz.
And inside that larynx, you've got these two little elastic bands of tissue. They're called the vocal folds. The gap between them, that's the glottis. And these little folds, they are the absolute heart of the matter. They're the source of your voice, the key to what makes a whisper different from a shout.
So how do these things actually work? Well, it's pretty cool. For some sounds, what we call voiceless sounds, like s, the folds are just held apart. The air just rushes right through, no problem. But for voiced sounds like zzz, they're brought really close together, so when the air pushes through, it forces them to vibrate, and that creates a buzzing sound. And you can feel this. Seriously, try it right now. Put your fingers on your throat. Now make a s sound. Feel that? Nothing, right? Okay, now make a zzz sound. Whoa, you feel that vibration kick in? That's voicing. That's it in action.
Okay, so our air has left the voice box, it's either buzzing or it's not, and now it keeps traveling up into what we call the vocal tract. This is our third and final stop, the assembly line. It's here that a whole team of sound shapers is waiting to get their hands on it and sculpt it into actual, recognizable speech.
Now, this assembly line, it's basically made up of two teams. You've got your active articulators. These are the movers, the parts that actually do the moving to shape the sound, like your tongue and your lips. And then you've got the passive articulators. These are the unmovable parts, the points of contact that the active guys move against. Think your teeth or the hard palate on the roof of your mouth.
So, you ready? It's time to meet the team. And I'm not kidding. For this next part, if you can grab a mirror, you totally should. It's actually really useful because you can see some of these parts doing their thing as we talk about them.
All right, first up in our sound shaping toolkit are the parts you can actually see. Your lips, for instance, they're super versatile, right? They can press together for sounds like p and b, or they can touch your teeth for f and v. Then you've got your teeth, a passive barrier. And right behind your upper front teeth, feel that with your tongue, that hard little ridge? That's the alveolar ridge. Go on, say ta, da, na. You can feel the tip of your tongue tapping that exact spot. And just behind that, well, that's the hard palate, the roof of your mouth. But the real star of the show, the most important articulator on the active team, it has to be the tongue. This thing is an incredible muscle. It is so flexible, it can move into all these different places and take on all these different shapes. It's really the MVP of sound shaping.
Okay, now for a part you can't really see, but it is absolutely crucial. It's called the velum, or the soft palate. If you run your tongue along the roof of your mouth way at the back, you'll feel where it gets soft. That's it. And you can think of the velum as the vocal tract's traffic director. It's got one simple but super important job, deciding where the air goes.
So the velum can be in a few different positions. When it's raised up, it completely blocks off the path to your nose. That forces all the air to go out through your mouth, which is what happens for most speech sounds. But if the velum is lowered, it opens up that nasal passage. That allows air to go out your nose, which is how we get nasal sounds like M and N.
Okay, so that's our final stop. We've met all the players, we have the power source, the voice box, and the whole assembly line of sound shapers. So now, let's put it all together. Let's see how a single word is actually born.
Let's take a look at the anatomy of a single sound, the T sound. How do we make it? Well, step 1, power. Air gets pushed up from the lungs. Step 2, voicing. The vocal folds stay open, so there's no buzz, it's voiceless. Step 3, articulation. The tip of your tongue presses up against that alveolar ridge we talked about. And finally, step 4, release. The air bursts out.
Okay, got it? Now let's look at the anatomy of the D sound.
Power?
Yep, air is pushed from the lungs. Articulation, tip of the tongue presses against the alveolar ridge. Release, air bursts out. It looks exactly the same except for one tiny, crucial difference. Look at step 2, the voicing. Just one thing. That's literally it. The single difference between a T and a D sound is that little buzz, that voicing from the vocal folds. That's all that separates the word tie from die. The whole system does the exact same thing for both sounds, except for that one little switch that gets flipped in your throat. The precision is it's incredible when you think about it.
So let's just do a quick summary of our tour. You've got the lungs, they provide the raw power, the airflow. You've got the larynx, which provides the buzz, the voicing. And then you've got all the articulators in your mouth and throat that provide the final shade. And all those things working together. That's how we get every single sound in human language.
So every single word you speak is like a muscular symphony, performed in an instant. It's just amazing. So what will your next masterpiece be? I mean, when you really break it down, talking is anything but simple. It's this incredibly complex, high-speed performance happening inside you with every word you say. I hope this little tour gave you a new appreciation for it. Thanks for joining us.